Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. CPSP Vision to Strengthen Overseas Relationships. A delegation from Royal College of Physicians, Edinburgh, led by its president Professor Andrew Elder, graced 57th convocation of CPSP and visited the CPSP Lahore Regional Centre and prominent medical institutions including King Edward Medical University and Fatma Jinnah Medical University, Lahore. During his visit, Professor Andrew Elder addressed the faculty and students and chaired the academic seminars. The delegation included Mr. Michael Hallisey, Director of Education at University Hospital Birmingham, Dr. Susan Pound, Vice President of Royal College of Physicians of Scotland, Dr. Carrie Baker, Dean of Education and Co-Dean of Training, Royal College of Physicians, Edinburgh, Dr. Conor Maguire, Vice President, Global Royal College of Physicians, Edinburgh, and Dr. Asad Rahim, Regional Director, Cpsp, Regional Centre, Birmingham, and Dr. Javed Kiani. These distinguished guests were received at Lahore Airport. Professor Andrew Elder graced the 57th convocation of CPSP as the chief guest on October 31st, 2024, held at Flatties Hotel in Lahore. Professor S.M.M. Nias, President of College of Surgeons of Sri Lanka, graced the event as the guest of honor and received an honorary fellowship of CPSP. Khwaja Mohammad Salman Rafiq, the Health Minister of Punjab, and Pakistan's first female general officer, Lieutenant General Dr. Nigar Johar, graced as special guests of honor. Professor Dr. Khalid Masood Gondal, Senior Vice President of CPSP, administered the oath to the fellows, while Professor Muhammad Shoaib Shafi, President of CPSP, delivered the presidential address and distributed diplomas to the fellows and members. The details of convocation are given in the description of this video. On the same evening, the CPSP President hosted a dinner at CPSP Regional Centre, Lahore, in honor of the delegation of Royal College of Physicians, Edinburgh, including Professor Andrew Elder, Mr. Michael Hallisey, Dr. Susan Pound, Dr. Conor Maguire, Dr. Asad Rahim, Dr. Javed Kiani, and Professor S.M.M. Nias, President of the College of Surgeons of Sri Lanka. Professor Rashid Latif Khan, a senior teacher and eminent gynecologist, was invited as chief guest along with Professor Abdul Majid Chaudhry and Professor Akhtar Sohail Chugtai. During the event, Professor Dr. Khalid Masood Gondal updated the participants on CPSP's achievements. A meaningful discussion took place between leaders of two sister institutions for future collaboration. President, Royal College of Physicians, Edinburgh, Professor Andrew Elder, appreciated CPSP's contributions in the field of higher medical education. President of CPSP, Professor Dr. Muhammad Shoaib Shafi, discussed strengthening of international collaboration. On 1st of November 2024, the delegation participated in the inaugural session of the International Emergency Medicine Conference held at King Edward Medical University, Lahore. The event, chaired by CPSP President Professor Muhammad Shoaib Shafi and Senior Vice President Professor Dr. Khalid Masood Gondal, graced the occasion as the guest of honor, who highlighted the history of emergency medicine in Pakistan and its international perspective. Professor Muhammad Shoaib Shafi emphasized the importance of the emergency medicine specialty, citing its accreditation milestones in terms of fellows, trainees, and supervisors, and shared CPSP's future vision. The conference was organized by Professor Dr. Yar Muhammad, Chairman of the Emergency Department, King Edward Medical University, under the guidance of Professor Dr. Mahmood Ayaz, Patron-in-Chief and Vice-Chancellor of King Edward Medical University, and Professor Dr. Javed Akram, ex-Health Minister of Punjab. On the same evening, the Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh arranged a graceful roll-signing ceremony in the historical Library Hall, Patiala Block, King Edward Medical University. Professor Dr. Khalid Masood Gondal, Senior Vice President of CPSP and Vice-Chancellor of Fatma Jinnah Medical University, graced the event with his presence as chief guest, while Professor Dr. Mahmood Ayaz, Vice-Chancellor King Edward Medical University, was the guest of honor. During this memorable ceremony, Professor Dr. Khalid Masood Gondal was awarded an honorary fellowship of Royal College of Physicians, Edinburgh. The details of the ceremony is given in link in the description of this video. On November 2, 2024, CPSP, in collaboration with Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh, hosted a full-day international seminar titled Challenges and Strategies in Graduate Medical Education at Cpsp Regional Centre, Lahore. The seminar was physically attended by members of visiting delegation, CPSP Council members, senior educators, fellows, and supervisors. President CPSP Professor Dr. Mohammad Shoaib Shafi virtually welcomed the participants and inaugurated the earth-breaking ceremony for the extension project of the CPSP Center in Ladkana. All the CPSP Regional Center also virtually attended this seminar. The details of this seminar is given in the description of this video. President Royal College of Physicians of Edinburgh, Professor Andrew Elder, also visited various departments at the CPSP Regional Center Lahore, including the examination department where he observed ongoing examinations. On November 4, 2024, the RCPE delegation participated in a seminar titled Clinical Excellence, the Key to Quality Care at Fatima Jinnah Medical University Auditorium, organized by Fatima Jinnah Medical University in collaboration with Royal College of Physicians, Edinburgh. Scholars and researchers shared insights on clinical excellence. The details of the seminar are given in the description of this video. The delegation expressed deep appreciation for the hospitality extended by CPSP leadership, including the President, Senior Vice President, Council members, and the CPSP dinner at Regional Center Lahore at Presidents of Professor Mahmood Ayaz and Professor Akhtar Suhail Chugtai. The members of the delegation were happy to see the historic city of Lahore. They especially enjoyed the enthusiastic parade of soldiers and flag hoisting ceremony at Wagah border and visit to Shahi Qila. The delegation left Lahore with pleasant memories, and this visit was a step towards strengthening of international collaborations, vision of present CPSP Council. Professor Andrew Elder commended CPSP's role in advancing higher medical education and quality healthcare services. He said,
I first met colleagues from CPSP in Bangladesh, a meeting there about medical education. And I've travelled very widely in my professional life looking at medical education in different countries. And I remember at that meeting in Bangladesh being impressed by the presentation made by the delegation from the CPSP. For example, I didn't know that CPSP had developed competency-based medical education to the extent that it had. I didn't know that they developed and created and developed an e-portfolio to the extent that they had, because you can't really run competency-based medical education properly without an e-portfolio. So I didn't know that. And I didn't know the extent and success of their programs of helping trainees from Pakistan to go to other countries for a fixed period and then come back to Pakistan to support the population here. I remember being impressed by that, and all that's been reinforced in the 2 or 3 days that we've had so far here in Lahore. I think that there are similarities and differences when you look at any two countries, or sometimes regions within a country, in the way that they try and deliver medical education. I think there are actually more similarities here between the UK and Pakistan than there are differences. That's the first thing I would say. The second thing is that I have been taking a particular interest recently in systems around mainland Europe. And I actually see more differences there, in some of the countries there, in their structures of postgraduate medical education, between the way we do it in the UK and the way they do it. Now, I'm not saying in that any or either system is better. I just observe more differences. I see more similarities here. And then the final point I would make, and it really just stems from the session that we've just been in, is that everywhere I go, there are societal and cultural differences, inevitably, that impact upon not only how we practice medicine, but how we teach medicine. And one striking thing I think is the culture of feedback. And I'm quite old now, and when I was a younger doctor in the UK, you didn't really get much direct feedback about how things were going. somebody might occasionally, one of your trainers occasionally might say, well done, that went well, or if something went bad, you would hear about that. And it's well known that the acquisition of competence is closely dependent on being observed at what you do and getting detailed and immediate feedback about what you do. And we, over time in the UK, have managed to make that more acceptable so that the trainees now expect to get regular feedback and the trainers feel they should be doing that. But making that change, making that acceptable for trainers and trainees is a lot of work. I see you working hard at that. That's very, very important to continue to do that. But it's taken us a long time to achieve it. I go back to the beginning. I kind of knew that I would be likely to be impressed when I came here to hear again about what CPSP does, and I have been. I hope that we can, through our collaboration, offer you some advice, some observations, as I've just done, because we all learn from each other. In the same way, I would hope you would offer us advice and any observations on what you see us doing. Because as we've stressed throughout the meeting, there's no single right way of doing all this. And it's very important that you design a medical education system in Pakistan that meets the need of your people or your patients, and then meets the needs of your trainees and their trainers. It has to be something that produces doctors that Pakistan needs and that is deliverable. Thanks very much for the invitation to come. I hope to visit again in the not too distant future. CPSP Pakistan Zindabad.